Hello. Today I'm doing a skit on a possibility of a science fiction of multiverse theory time travel. And this one is going to be of a person who with a team that can travel through time on a multiverse time theory to save the RMS Titanic and what's possible. So I hope you all enjoy. So, here's part one of the skit. A man paces back and forth in his office, pondering what could he do since he achieved a Nobel Peace Prize of his work. In his office you see doctorate degrees, 3 Nobel Peace Prize, and you framed in certain parts of his office walls, clippings. Man travels through time on multiverse theory. He ponders what he could do when he looks onto the RMS Titanic. Old photo of her sitting at the docks of Ireland, Belfast. Sorry about that. Now I was telling my viewers, visiting my mom over here. But back to the story. Pondering, looking after old stuff to the 1985 discovery photo of the wreck. Saddened by this, but also thrilled. But yet, keep on doing side research on the ship itself. Well, herself. He hears a knock on his door. His president of his company and a longtime friend comes in saying, "We're about to have a board meeting. You want to come?" Of course, both his friends and family and employees and investors knows he does attend meetings here and there, but only if he's not in deep in thought. But when it comes to certain stuff, which it's deep thoughts would make or break a huge chance of a discovery. And his investors and employees and members of the board understands his situation. He looks at his friend and says, "John, sorry I can't make this one because I'm thinking about the possibility of time jumping into the multiverse time. Trying and figure out if I can give them all this information on a certain ship." His friend, John, looks at him intently in a curious way. He says, "What ship?" Then Taylor, sorry I forgot to mention the main character's name here, but turns to the photo in the back. John looks and says, "Oh, you mean the Titanic? The Titanic?" While saying that, his eyes light up, big as saucers. "Yeah, John, the Titanic. Going back in time to either save her or in those multi-time theories, and those multi-timelines, to save her and give the members of the jury at the inquiry the information, all the information on how she looks 100 years later. And gone back to the night of the sinking to save the RMS Titanic. She has to hit the iceberg, but if I'm right, that timeline Titanic's accident will be the same one as ours. He walks to his desk, pulls out a stack of diagrams of the iceberg damage. He looks at the older ones on the left side, then looks on the right, and the possible look in his eyes as he looks at both. We would have to assemble a team to look at this and be prepared just in case if it turns out like this one over here. They both look at the long gash, the biggest gash that was thought to be on the Titanic before the 1980 discovery. Of course, there has been a lot more exhibitions to the wreck. All they could see was a thin section that was open at the bottom. Looking at the newest 2012 photograph, the photo mosaic, the exhibition went out and done. And all they could see was an old rusted ship, one that was once beautiful, and in both of their eyes still beautiful, but sadly decaying. They have thought about going to the owner of the Titanic wreck to discuss possibilities of salvaging the Titanic wreck and restoring her to her former glory, and have thought about going to the White Star Line about possible rebuilding both sisters. Several different versions from the blueprints White Star Line had as museums. But if it is like this one over on my right, then it's possible we could repair those holes and pump out the water in those compartments. Of course, we would have to tell the crew we need to evacuate just in case, and we would have extra lifeboats on this scene. Of course, 21st century, and then when it comes to the inquiry, we take them to the wreck site, worst case scenario. bad we'd be if we could repair those holes and pump out the water tight. Those compartments would be possible to save her. End of this part 1 there. So guys, I hope you enjoy the skit or the story that I worked on for a while, but part 2 will be coming out soon. Probably sooner than after this video is released. So have a great day, guys. Stay warm if you're in the northern part of America, or Texas for that matter. I hope y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Have a good day. Be careful and stay blessed.